In this video, I'm going to give you the 9 things that you must do in order to maintain long-term, low-drama, happy, non-monogamous relationships with women where you can date and have sex with multiple women and they all know you're doing it and keep seeing you anyway. This will change your life if you actually do it. I am Caleb Jones. This is Alpha Male 2.0. I make a multi-6-figure location-independent income while dating multiple attractive women, and I teach men like you how to do the same thing. And I've been living this lifestyle, this non-monogamous lifestyle, for going on 14, 15 years now, and it has gone very, 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 very well. And so in this video, I'm going to give you what I call the Cardinal rules. This is right out of my book, The Ultimate Open Relationships Manual, that you can get at haveopenrelationships.com. If you want more details on how to do these things, go to haveopenrelationships.com and get that book. It will change your life. It will show you exactly step-by-step how to do these things. In this video, I'm going to overview the 9 cardinal rules. These are things that you must do. All 9 are mandatory. They're cardinal. You must do them, even if you think they're weird, even if you think they don't make sense, even if you are uncomfortable the first time you do them, and you probably will. But these rules do work. Thousands of men all over the world have done them, and they have worked for them, and they will work for you. They are listed in no particular order because, again, they are all mandatory, all 9 of these. Rule number 1, only see her once a week. This is a very big topic, but the more often you see a woman, the more comfortable she becomes with you, and that means 2 things. The more easily she will give you drama and complaining and arguments, and the more comfortable she will be in giving you demands about how you need to start acting like this or stop acting like that. The more often you see a woman, the more you exacerbate those 2 things. So if you see her just once a week, then it's all okay. You don't prevent these things, but you delay them greatly and you reduce their odds of occurring. Now, if you say, well, I don't want to see her once a week, remember, you're dating multiple women. So if you date 3 different women, see each one 3 times a week. That's 3 times a week you're getting female companionship or sex or whatever you need. You're good to go. Don't use monogamous excuses when it comes to stuff. Now, this particular rule does not apply to OLTRs, serious girlfriends or wives. Obviously, you see them more often if you live with them. But for FBs and MLTRs, only see her once a week, period, end of story. And that means, by the way, you see her once per calendar week. So if you see her on a Friday, you can see her again the following Monday, even though it has been 7 days, but that means you can't see her again until the following Sunday, once per calendar week. Cardinal rule number 2, do not initiate contact often. She should be contacting you far more often than you contact her. As a matter of fact, ideally, you want a 3-to-1 ratio or less. That means she is contacting you at least triple as often as you are contacting her. I'm talking about initiation of contact. I'm not talking about a back and forth conversation. Ideally, in a perfect world, and I've had many relationships, long-term relationships, where I did this, the only time you are initiating contact with her is to schedule the next meet. Other than that, you are not initiating contact at all. You can receive contact and reply to contact if she texts you or calls you or DMs you, that's okay. But you're not going to initiate contact very often. If you initiate contact all the time, you murder attraction, you drop attraction. You want to keep attraction high, so you want to keep it light in terms of how often you initiate contact with her. Cardinal rule number 3, always make sure she orgasms every time you have sex with her. Every time. Now, the reason for this is because you are asking a lot of her. You are asking her to keep seeing you in a casual or dating relationship scenario, maybe even a semi-serious relationship scenario. And so you have to offset that by being very good in bed and making her feel really, really good. Most men, and women will tell you this, are very bad in bed. Most men go pump, pumpity pump, and then they flop over and they fall asleep. They don't even pay attention to making her feel good and certainly not making her come or orgasm during sex. If you do this, it's like a magic wand. Even if it bothers her that you're having sex with other women, she will continuously still see you and more likely return to you if she leaves down the road because you made her feel good. This is one of those things where when I started doing this many years ago, it was a huge transformation of my success ratios in terms of doing this with women. It's like a magic wand. Always make her orgasm during sex. Now that brings up a lot of questions. Well, what if she can't, Caleb? If she absolutely can't, then you take some extra time to make her feel really, really good. You're doing the things sexually that other men she's been with in the past, or maybe she's currently with now, are not doing and have never done. You're putting yourself in a unique category in her mind so that she will maintain contact with you, keep seeing you, and certainly come back to you over time. Cardinal rule number 4, don't lie. Now, this is very complicated, and I could do a whole video on this. As a matter of fact, I could do a whole video on any one of these things. But don't lie means you are not stating things that you know are false. Now, don't lie does not mean disclose literally everything that you're doing. I didn't say that. I said don't lie. So if she says, are you still having sex with other women? You're not going to say no, because that would be a lie. Now, you don't need to say yes either. You don't need to say, yes, I am seeing 4 other women, their names are this and their ages are that. No, that's full disclosure and that's different. That comes later in the relationship, depending on how long the relationship has been. That is a topic for another time. I'm saying that you're not going to ever say things that are not true. Men incorrectly think that when they're in a relationship with a woman and they lie to that woman, they are avoiding drama. That is incorrect. When you lie to a woman you're in a relationship with, what it does is it takes the drama, it pushes it into the future, and it exacerbates it. So if the drama on a scale from 1 to 10, if you had been truthful, was a 4, and you lie, right at that moment, it is a 0. You do offset it at the moment. But what you've done is you've taken that drama that would have been a 4, and you've shoved it 6 months into the future, and now it's going to be a 9. Because you lied. The goal of Alpha Male 2.0, and certainly our relationships with women, is to have long-term, low-drama relationships. You don't want to do a bunch of things now that will create a bunch of drama in your relationship in the future. That's dumb. Instead, just don't lie. Now again, you are allowed to not answer questions. So for example, if she says, are you still seeing other women? You can say, I'm not discussing that. That's not a lie. That's okay if that's your style. But you get my point. Do not lie to women. The Alpha Male 2.0, a true alpha male, never needs to lie to a woman. You tell her the truth, you tell her what you're doing, and if she doesn't like it, she can leave and go find someone else. If you lie to a woman because you don't want to make her mad or you don't want her to leave, that means you are a pussy, and that means you probably have one-itis. Cardinal rule number 5. Do not discuss the nature of the relationship in any way whatsoever, ever, until you have the talk. The talk is a topic for another time. That is when you actually verbalize the entire scenario, but that's going to be 3 to 5 months or more into the relationship. Until that time, you are not to discuss the nature of the relationship. You're not going to bring it up. You're not going to talk about it yourself. And the reason I say that is we live in an era now where usually it's the man who brings up the relationship parameters before the woman does. Usually these days it's the man who says, well, I think we should stop seeing other people. No. That's discussing the relationship. You are not going to discuss the relationship. You're not going to bring it up. And if she brings it up, you're not going to discuss it with her either. If she says, where is this going? Or what is this? Or what is this to you? Or what am I to you? You're not going to have that conversation now. You're going to have that conversation later. You can't push that conversation off forever, but you're going to have that conversation when you choose, not when she chooses. As soon as you define the relationship, you will probably end up in a monogamous relationship that will end up in drama and breakups and problems. You don't want to do that. These discussions are going to happen on your terms, not her terms. And if she doesn't like that, as always, she can go date a normal guy, a normal beta male, who will immediately fall in love with her after the 2nd or 3rd date and demand that she stop seeing other men. She has that right. She can do that whenever she wants. But if you're doing all the other cardinal rules, you're maintaining attraction so high that she probably won't do that. Before I go on, there's something you should do. You should subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, put a like on this video, and leave a comment on this video. It doesn't even matter what you say. As long as I get more algorithm-friendly activity on these videos, I will do more of these videos for you for free, so you're just helping yourself. Cardinal rule number 6, and this is a big one a lot of guys screw up on. Never engage in boyfriend behaviors. What is a boyfriend behavior? A boyfriend behavior is something only a boyfriend would do, not necessarily a guy she's dating would do. So for example, and this is a complicated topic, I can do a whole video on this, but I'll give you an example. Spending the night with a woman. If you have a woman spend the night at your place, is that something only a full-on boyfriend would do? No. No, you could be dating a woman and let her spend the night and that would be normal. So that is not considered a boyfriend behavior, so it is allowed. You can do that. Now let's take something else. Renting a limousine for Valentine's Day, and on Valentine's Day you arrive at her house with a limousine and you're dressed in a nice suit and tie and you have the big bunch of flowers and chocolates and you're gonna take her out to a real expensive dinner. That kind of entire event, is that something a guy she's dating would do? Or is that something a boyfriend would do? That's something a boyfriend would do, so you're not going to do that. So there are many things you could do in terms of showing affection for someone, an MLTR in particular, that are perfectly allowed. But you're not going to engage in any boyfriend behaviors until and unless you actually become her boyfriend, which means OLTR, which is way down the road. Not when you're just dating her or dating multiple women. I am married, so obviously I can engage in boyfriend behaviors because I have an OLTR wife. But back for years and years, 10 years plus, when I had FBs and MLTRs, including strong high-end MLTRs, I didn't engage in any boyfriend behaviors with any of these women. And that helped a lot, and it'll help you a lot. If you act like a boyfriend, she's gonna start treating you like a boyfriend, which means she's gonna start expecting things like monogamy, not good, and things like talking to you every day and spending time with you and meeting your parents and all that stuff that you are not ready to do yet. No boyfriend behaviors. Cardinal rule number 7, hugely important for the Alpha Male 2.0. This is an Alpha Male 2.0 baseline. Always be having sex with other women. When you are seeing one woman and you stop having sex with everyone else, women can smell this on you. They can sense it. They know it intuitively. Women have amazing intuition for this stuff, far beyond what we men do not have. And if you find yourself going weeks and weeks and weeks where you've only had sex with her, she's going to feel it, she's going to know it in the back of her mind, and she's going to start treating you accordingly because she will know, either consciously or subconsciously, that she is the only source of sex and female companionship in your life. And now she can throw both drama and demands at you, and she knows, probably correctly, that you're going to go for it because you're now what I call de facto monogamous. De facto monogamous means you haven't had a discussion, you haven't promised monogamy or exclusivity, but you're only having sex with one woman, so you are, in effect, monogamous. Don't do this ever, even if she's serious, even if you're busy with work, even if she's an OLTR. I don't care what your goddamn excuse is. I've heard all the excuses. Do not do this. Now, Caleb, what's the minimum? The absolute bare minimum is 6 weeks. Never go 6 weeks without having sex with someone else besides whichever main person is in your life now. I have not gone anywhere near 6 weeks for the last 15 years with anyone, including my own wife. When you go de facto monogamous, you invite drama and demands, even if she technically doesn't, quote unquote, know that you're not having sex with other women. Don't do it. That is the path of the beta male. And I have seen numerous men in the Alpha Male 2.0 community who have made this error. They get a girl who's really good, who's quote, not like the rest, and then slowly all the other women, they let all the other women go, and they wake up one morning, it's been 3 months, they haven't had sex with anyone else except her. Congratulations, you are now a monogamous beta male, and this woman is gonna start treating you accordingly, and it's 100% your fault. Don't get lazy, don't get complacent, make this a priority in your life. If I can do it, I've done this consistently now for 15 years. If I can do it, you can do it. Cardinal rule number 8, do not go on any trips with her. Those are not allowed until and unless she gets to the high-end MLTR level, and the vast majority of women you date will never get that far. If she is a high-end MLTR, then yes, brief trips are okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 days on the outside, that's it. If she's a standard MLTR or an FB, no trips for any reason. When you take a woman out on a trip, that, by the way, this applies to OLTRs too, when you're allowed to do it, she knows that you can't go anywhere. You can't soft next her, you can't leave, you're stuck with her, and she knows that, and she is going to unleash drama from hell, and you're gonna have all kinds of problems. I've seen this happen with many men over the years. It's almost predictable like clockwork. No trips. If you want someone to go on trips with, that's an OLTR or at a bare minimum, a high-end MLTR. And in both cases, this is a woman who's been in your life for a long time with very low drama. You've already had the talk. She already knows you're never gonna be monogamous, and she's still cool with it. Then and only then, you can slowly start to introduce that aspect into your relationship. And even then, you gotta be careful. Cardinal rule number 9, do not meet her family or friends. Why is this? This is a boyfriend behavior, or at least can be, or at least she can perceive it as such. If you start meeting all of her friends, and you start meeting her mom and her dad, she's going to, whether she knows it or not, whether she's aware of it or not, whether she even wants or not, start to view you as a boyfriend. Cue all the usual drama and demands when that occurs. Now, when she gets into the high-end MLTR level, and certainly the OLTR level, and there are requirements for these things, topic for another time, then yes, you can then meet her parents and stuff if you want, and her friends, but only at that level. And again, if you're doing this correctly, most women you date will never get to that level. If every woman you date, you want to meet her mom, you're being a beta, you're being a pussy, and you're needy. Stop it. Now, I said 9 cardinal rules. I'm going to add 2 more that are only for FBs, friends with benefits, fuck buddies. So I'm going to add 2 more rules just for FBs. Cardinal rule number 10, just for FBs, never go out on dates. You're not allowed to go on dates with an FB because you're treating her like something that she isn't, and you're gonna have all kinds of problems and chaos. Well, Caleb, how can I do that if I meet her? I have to go on a date to meet her. Those are okay. The initial 1 or 2 dates when you first meet someone like online dating or something, those are all right. Once you have sex with her twice, that's called lock-in, no more dates, no more going out with FBs. You hang out at her place or she hangs out at your place, you talk for a little bit, maybe you watch TV for a little bit, you have sex, and it's done, she leaves. That's what FB means. If you want to date someone, date MLTRs. Dates are allowed for MLTRs, not FBs. Cardinal rule number 11, only for FBs, never let her spend the night. This is something a lot of guys have a problem with. She can spend the night if she's an MLTR. Perfectly fine. I've done that many, many, many times with many, many, many MLTRs over the years. Perfectly okay. But if she's an FB and you let her spend the night, you are sending the message to her that you're dating her. And she's gonna set her expectations accordingly. And then next week, when you start treating her like an FB again, you're gonna have drama and problems and chaos, and it'll be 100% your fault. And guys will say, well, that's rude. You're hurting her feelings if she can't spend the night. Wrong. If she's an FB and you let her spend the night with you, you are hurting her feelings because you are sending conflicting signals. And you're doing it on purpose because you're being a pussy. So be strong, toughen up. She cannot spend the night if she's an FB. If you really want to spend the night with her and you really like her, then you're welcome to upgrade her to MLTR. Now you can spend the night with her whenever you want, as long as you only see her once a week. See all the cardinal rules tying together? That's how this works. Again, if you want more details on how to actually execute these rules, go to haveopenrelationships.com. In the meantime, you can watch this video right here on one of the strongest relationship techniques, the soft next. I will see you in the next video. Have fun. Bye.